All right. It's another week, and we are back with another phenomenal woman entrepreneur on the Bright Girls of Business show. I'm Chanel, the original Bright Girl, and I am just super duper excited to have Miss Rose Simmons with us of Business Lounge Dallas. So thank you for coming on the show, Miss Rose.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Let me read y'all her bio because now, okay, so I have to come out of like host mode and go into I know her mode and just tell y'all, Ro is absolutely phenomenal at what she does. And I think that her work speaks for herself or for itself. And that's why I really like Ro and I like working with her. She's not one of these people that's always clout chasing or really pushing herself out there in the spotlight, but her work definitely does that for her. So in March of 2018, she established and launched the Business Lounge Dallas, which is an event and co-working space here in the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex. And she has been a major champion for Black entrepreneurs, Black women entrepreneurs, and has really created a very strong community of entrepreneurs here in the Dallas area. So she is definitely a tastemaker and an influencer. She's a visionary, a motivator, a creator. She is a serial entrepreneur. This is not her first business, but this is the one that we know her for and that we are excited to have her in this space for right now in this season. We don't know what she might do. She might be cooking up something she might tell us about. I don't know. But yes, so she does, workshops, she does coaching sessions, she does events at her co-working space, and she is really a consummate connector. She'll see two people or something going on and be like, okay, you need to meet them and they need to meet you. And she's just a phenomenal person. So that's who we're talking to today. So I need y'all to get excited because I really am. I've been waiting to talk to her for months. Been waiting to talk to you for months. So Ro, I know your story about how you, had previous businesses and stuff like that. But I really want to dig in there and I want to kind of talk about the pivot that you made, because a lot of times I talk to entrepreneurs and they're doing one thing and they're known for that one thing. And they're really, trugging along at that thing. And then something else is kind of sparking their interest and it's completely different. And they're afraid to take the leap. So tell us where you kind of started with your entrepreneurial journey before Business Lounge Dallas, and then lead into what kind of led you to start this business that you're currently in.
Okay. Well, hey guys, my name is Rose Simmons, and my first initial business was a fitness business. And so it started off as Health Swag Fitness. And it was doing good, but it wasn't doing great. So I started getting business mentors and business coaches. And so they were phenomenal. Like God even gave me an assistant. I had an assistant early on in my journey, and it was going great. But we realized that the name Health Swag, the word swag is like seasonal. It's like trendy. So one of my business coaches was like, that name is not going to carry you for a long while. It will burn out. So she was like, you have to come up with something else. And I was like, all right. And so I was thinking about the different things, what I train and teach and what I preach to my clients. And one of the things that was, I teach them how to live their life and be fit. Because the thing is, people think you got to be a certain size, or that think if you are a certain size, that automatically you fit. It don't mean that. You could be 105 pounds and still can't walk a flight of stairs, okay? But I got sis over here that's 300 pounds and she hitting these stairs, okay? Because we done built up that endurance. So I renamed the business Live Your Life Fitness. And so once I had relaunched or rebranded to that name, that's one of the pivots or the things that I had learned in business about with changing your names and your branding. You think that people aren't paying attention, but they are. Mm-hmm. So as soon as you change stuff, they're like, wait, wait, what happened to Housewife Fitness? Like, they start looking for you, even though you haven't went anywhere. They
Yeah.
start looking for you. And or they have been there because you got those people that are following you, that are watching you because you're consistent. But you don't know that because everybody don't make the noise. Everybody is not always commenting or liking or coming to their actual classes or whatever, but they still supporting you, and you think that they're not there. So that was one of the big lessons that I learned with changing my business name, that it mattered that I was doing something. People were watching me. So I changed it to Live Your Life Fitness. And I was operating, I had a location in Plano, I had a location in North Dallas, and I outgrew the North Dallas location. We were in a small space that was about 600 square feet. We started adding CPR classes to it, and we didn't have any space to put the dummies, girl.
Wow.
But when I tell you the rent was right, the rent was right. Okay, so I was like, I ain't trying to move. But I had to move. Like, God made it to where I couldn't stay there even though I wanted to. I had to move because they were changing the building to something else. They wanted to make the whole building one big space. So they made it a furniture store.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so with that, they were like, I was afraid because I just was listening to other renters of the spaces. And they was like, yeah, we got to move. We all got to move and all that. I'm like, oh, dang, well, where am I going to move to? Because I really didn't have a lot of experience with commercial properties. The way I had got into that property was by building relationships with the management and the original leaser of that space.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I went to the management, they were like, oh, we're going to help you. We own more than just this building. We're going to help you find a space to move to. We don't want you to leave. I was like, oh, okay. So they took me around, showed me the spaces that were available, and I had picked this space that I'm in currently, right? And it was a complete shell. And I was able to make the blueprint, make the setup, pick out the paint, pick out the flooring, pick out everything that I wanted for this space, and this became my new home for Live Your Life Fitness. And so I ran Live Your Life Fitness here in this space for about 2 years. And then it was time to pivot. So business was going great in Plano, but not so great in North Dallas, because in North Dallas, what I was trying to do with this was make it a fitness incubator, because I'm one of those people, I'm not a loner. So I came into this world with somebody. I got a twin brother. So I am not a loner. So I've always, like, if I got something, I got to share it. You know what I'm saying? I gotta include other people. So the fitness incubator was the first creation that God had gave me to do for the lounge. So I had other fitness professionals. They came in, they used the lounge to host their classes. It could be yoga, it was Zumba, other fitness trainers. So they were using the space. And then what I did was I solicited the entrepreneurs in the community to come in and teach us. They taught us about branding our fitness businesses. They taught us about marketing and things like that. The only thing that I found out with the fitness industry is that it is so much easier for people to just go work for a gym than to build it from the ground up.
Yeah.
So I'm one of those people. I love building from the ground up. I love to start something and see it grow and blossom. Like the hard work and the people not showing up doesn't scare me. Does it make me, feel a certain type of way sometimes? Yes, but it didn't scare me.
Right.
But other people have not necessarily built that thick skin. So therefore they kept falling off. So I was like, well, why am I even keeping this space? I was like, I don't need this space. I could just train my clients where I live. I live in Plano. Why can't I just do that? So I was getting ready to give up this space. And then God said, nope. He gave me the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and My Business Coach. Okay. And the word that came to me was leverage. You leverage the space. And I was like, okay, so I got this space, leverage it for what? And my business coach kept talking about virtual officing and co-working. And I was like, I didn't know what any of that was, but she kept speaking of that. And so I was like, all right. So I was like, well, I'll use one of the rooms for it. And God was like, no, you're going to use the whole entire space. And I was like, okay. And then he was like, you're even going to do business events. You're going to do what? He didn't say business at first. He said just events. You're even going to do events. And I was like, This is 900 square feet. How we gonna do some events up here? Ain't nobody gonna want to do no events in here.
Well, we
Listen,
have.
ma'am. As wrong as I was in my thinking, okay? So when I tell you this lounge was launched because God told me through my business coach, through that book, to leverage this space. Now, the meaning and the branding for what the lounge stands for now came from me consistency, came from me keep going, right? So I was going and I was creating and I was doing these different things. So we did baby showers, we did birthday parties, we did all this stuff. And I was like, okay, so 900 square feet and us, when we partying, it get hot up in here. It don't matter what you got this air on. Like I learned lessons of what the space was capable of and what it wasn't capable of. So that's when I started to niche down. I said, so no more parties. We can do the baby showers. We can do the birthday dinners. No more of renting my stuff out and just letting people come in because things were getting broken, things were getting misplaced. And of course, nobody will own up to it. It wasn't me, da, 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 da. So, and those all came with lessons of me continuing to keep going, okay? And so then I was looking at the need. I was looking at like, okay, well, what's going on in the community? Because God gave it the name Business Lounge. So I'm like, what's going on in the community? What do we need? And that's when people started coming through the doors, that's when I started finding out what the entrepreneur community needed. We need connections. We need education. And we need support. And we weren't getting those things from these other, I'm gonna do quotation marks, these other educational places or these other co-working spaces. They didn't give you that. They just rented you a space to come sit down and work. But how do you continue to work? And with us, with our community, we aren't looked at as professional. We aren't looked at as business. If you Google business people right now, Black people will not pop up.
Nope.
White people will. That's why I brand with us. Like I sell to everyone, but I brand and I build with us. I buy us because the thing has to be about circulating the dollars. So I don't know if I'm getting ahead of you because I could just talk, girl.
Go ahead, because we're getting there. You're getting there.
Okay, so, but when I found out what the community needed, that's when I really niched down and I brought it to them. And when I tell you before COVID, we was booked like almost every single weekend with events in a 900 square foot space. And God told me, he said, it's not about the size, it's about the experience. Because we are the Chick-fil-A of event spaces, okay? We set up, we take down, we help sign in, check in guests, we pack up your food, we do everything so that everything is done within the allotted time, but the host is stress-free.
Yeah.
And I had to start doing that also because with the new entrepreneurs that we get, they're already nervous. What if nobody shows up? What if nobody comes? Like all this, like I help them with pricing their shows or pricing their workshops. I help them with making sure they get a profit because they're just like, I just want to break even. Why?
Right.
Why do you just want to break even?
Business.
Thank you. No, it's like you not believing in yourself. I just want to break even. No, what we're not going to do is not just break even. We're going to profit. And I'm going to show you how you're going to do that. Even by paying this invoice. After you pay this invoice, I'm going to show you how to make this money back plus your profit. And so, God showed me so many different things that I needed to do in a community. And that's what I'm doing now. I am completely clear on what I'm supposed to be doing here. And that's what I do here. And so connect, educate, support. Those are the three things those are our pillars. And that's what we focus on here at the lounge.
I love this story that you just told because it tells the story of nothing being wasted. Because when you started, you told me you started off with Health Swag and now you're all the way doing, but it's a line and a thread that goes throughout the whole story of how you pivoted. First of all, how you were listening to God and you knew what direction you were supposed to go in. So that's one. But also just how you listen to what people need. I think that's a keen skill set that a lot of people do not have. A lot of people start off businesses because it's something that they like, or it's something that they want to do, or perhaps sometimes they see somebody else doing something and they're successful at it, and then they think, "Ooh, I could do that too," because they make it look easy, right? But the fact that you listened to your audience, you listened to your community, you watched what was going on, and you created based upon the need and not just the need to like pump your ego up or to feel good. And now you're seeing that, you're reaping the benefits of it, and just reaping the benefits of being obedient. And I think that's phenomenal, because a lot of people don't have that.
And that's what I try to educate the community on, because they come in here and they're money hungry or money focused.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to make money. You are going to make that, but you have to become the person you need to be to make the level of money that you want.
Yeah.
And see, people are not understanding that business is really about you. Mm-hmm. It really ain't about the product you selling, the service you selling.
Nope.
Because I promise you, pretty much it's already out there.
Yep.
It really is.
Yep.
But the key ingredient is you. You have designed or allotted people who are dedicated to you, but God only gonna send them when you in the position to receive them, because he don't want you to hurt his kids. Those his kids, they ain't yours.
I saw something, I saw it this morning, but I saw it like 2 days ago, and it was reposted today, and it was like a quote from TD Jakes, and it was basically like, God is not going to increase you and you don't already have the infrastructure. That's like a paraphrase of what it was saying. But basically, you're asking for increase, but you need to tighten up the basic stuff and get that basic stuff together. And then, like you said, the increase comes, because the opportunity, like, what if you get it and you fumble it?
That part.
Like about Business Lounge Dallas is, even like you said, before COVID and all the events and the workshops, and I was a workshop instructor and things like that, is that you start with people where they are and help them to build that infrastructure and help them to get that business training from people that, a lot of people didn't go to college or they didn't get a business degree. This is the first time they've ever launched a business or thought about being an entrepreneur. They don't have, fathers, mothers, uncles, and grandparents that were entrepreneurs. So they have no basis for understanding how to run a business. They just have something that they're passionate about, and they want to get it out to the marketplace. And you really meet people where they are and help them. And so that's why I support and I love Business Lounge Dallas. I just do. I tell everybody about it that I meet that wants to be an entrepreneur in this area, because it's a very unique space. It really is. And like you said, you go to a lot of these other places, and that community really isn't there to meet people where they are. And I've been an ambassador for some, entrepreneurial spaces. I've been just all around Dallas in this whole startup community, which Dallas itself is unique as a place to start a business in itself. There's a lot of resources here, but you really have to be tapped in to utilize them. And it's not the case that I found with your space. So I like the fact that you're really intentional about that.
I'm glad that you say that, because like, say for example, Friday, like the last Friday of every month, I have what's called the working brunch. So people are able to come in, we have brunch, but we're working. We got our laptops, we all in this circle. So it's not a circle, but it's more like a square. But if you've seen the logo of the lounge, all it is links. It's us linking together to work together, right? And so the last Friday of every month, we have this working brunch. Well, I don't know if you noticed, this past month was my birthday month. So I did a 5-day tour of Black-owned businesses. So every single day we went to a different Black-owned business, patronized that business. I took people with me, and we had a different cake at every location. I had a different outfit, child, photographer. We had the whole works, okay? For 5 days.
That's how you celebrate a birthday, though.
Okay. But we patronized these businesses, and we sold 63 tickets. 63 people paid to have dinner with me at these Black-owned businesses. That's what's amazing to me. But I kind of lost my train of thought.
No,
Um,
yeah. I was just gonna say that I tried to go to one of the dinners and it was sold out. I was like, oh well, I guess she's just a little too celebrity to, sit down and have dinner with me. So maybe I have to catch her some other time. It's okay. I didn't feel no type of way, but I did see that I was looking at your pictures and things like that.
it was amazing. Like it was amazing. But
Yes.
I think I was where I was going with that is that the fact that, people think that people are not watching them or that they don't have anyone to go to connect with, right? So
Yeah.
my thing was, my main purpose for that tour was to connect people with those businesses because their majority of those Black owned businesses are new. Some of them have been around for years, but they still need help. And I
Yeah.
had different people at the table. I had marketing people, I had virtual assistants people, like I had different people there. The goal was to connect them with the owners of these establishments so that, hey, you can experience the service here. And then you can look and think and say, hey, this is how I can help them. So
Yeah.
you go back and you meet with them. But all of my energy, our energy, me and my event coordinators' energy went to that tour. So the working brunch that we had this month, like I even canceled it, right? I canceled it, but I still came up here. I'm glad I did. Do you know people still came through the door?
They were ready.
I had canceled that working brunch and people still came in the door. And this is the thing. When these people come through the door, they don't just come to a boring looking room with blue carpet and gray walls.
Right.
No, they come to a very nice, professional, elegant, this is our backdrop. You wait till you see the new backdrop. It's gonna be even more amazing.
Can't
But
wait. We going there next. That's what we got to talk about next.
but they come in and they see that, and then they see me. So they're inspired and they're motivated because I'm going to give you a lot of information to help you with launching and working your business, but you need to be motivated and inspired that you can actually do it. And
Yeah.
so with them seeing us, like these women sit in here and talked with me for like 2 to 3 hours just because they couldn't believe, like, I have never heard of this. I have never seen this. And to see somebody who's actually successful, because I'm very successful and I'm going to be even more successful, but to see somebody doing, what you desire to do, it's inspiring. So
It really is.
that's why I love what I do. I absolutely love it. Do I be tired? Yes, ma'am. I do, especially after that 5-day tour. I'm like, Jesus, help your child.
That's funny.
But it was amazing though. It was amazing to attend or go to all those different Black owned businesses, and it was just amazing. And my event coordinators were a tremendous help. Like I couldn't have been near as fabulous without my team. I'm gonna tell you that for one, okay? Because if it was just me, ain't no way I would have did a 5-day tour. It would have been one day.
So
One.
while we're here, let's shout them out, and then let's shout out these restaurants because I saw a couple of them, and some of them I didn't even know existed. I feel like we went into COVID and came out, and it was a bunch of new stuff, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
wait a minute,
Yeah.
what? So
Because
tell us who are your event coordinators?
all right, so my event coordinators are Jessica Jones, Jackie Lampkins, and also Pamela Houston, who just joined the team like actually last week. Okay, so those are my 3 event coordinators. And then I have 8 interns. And so my interns, I don't want to forget anybody. So when I will post them in my story when you can see the whole entire team. And then not only that, we have videographers and photographers that work our events. We have Stephanie Strickland with Strictly Visuals. We have Melvin Bullock with A-list photography. We have Matt Osborne with 19 Productions House. And so those are the people who come in and they make sure that we look good in these pictures. Not to mention we have Destin Murray as well. And so I have those people, right? Then I have my makeup team, Soft Glamour Beauty team. So she has a whole team that makes sure that my team is good. So they do our makeup for events. They make sure we look good. And I mean, they really come through. So without having all of them to help me, like it would have been very hard to pull that off. But with having my staff and the people working it for me and helping, it was gratefulness. But I'm gonna tell you, to have all these people on my team, I didn't have them at first. And that's why I was saying earlier, you have to become another person,
Yeah.
because I was a micromanager. Like, I didn't let people operate in their gifts. So God didn't give them to me.
Wow.
So God's like, okay, until you can learn how to release and let people operate in their gifts, then you ain't gonna have no help. It's just gonna be you.
Wow. That's good. And that's deep, but that's good. That's good, because a lot of people, we start off these businesses and these are our babies. And I don't really like that term anymore. I'm gonna be honest. But that's what people say. Oh, that's your baby. That's your baby. Okay, yeah, that's great. It's not a human, and I can drop it off and I can leave it and move on and pivot if I need to. But people become so attached to it, is what I mean when I say that. And so they don't see the value in seeking out help, or they're too prideful to seek out help. And then they don't end up coming to places like the Business Lounge Dallas, because they don't want to ask for help. They want to look like they have it together, and they don't really have it together. And then your slip starts showing. Because people that really know, it's true. Because people that really know business, they'll look at it and say, ooh, no, she shouldn't have done that. She should have done this. But if you're not coachable, and if you're not, as a business owner, willing to let other people shine in their gifts, you can really, you can fumble the ball and let the thing fall apart, because you're trying to do too much and you're limited.
That's right. And if we were supposed to do everything by ourselves, we would be the only person here. But God gave us all of these different minds, these creative beings, for a reason. And when I tell you about letting these people operate in their gifts, good. Like, it has helped me so much. And that brings me to, like, with we're expanding, right? So we're expanding from 900 square feet to 2,300 square feet. Amazing. It's gonna be very nice. What I did for the expansion, like, the construction is already paid for. That's already done. Okay. I started raising money for via a crowdfunding platform that is Black owned as well, by Sabina Harris.
She's been on the podcast. Yeah.
But I'm using her platform to raise money, and I'm not raising money for, construction, because that's done. I'm raising money so that I can get more money to leverage with the lenders, so that I can have a nice payroll for my team.
Yeah.
Like, I need them to be able to operate in their gifts and be able to, because the lounge is going to be open every single day from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Right.
And I need them to be, if they're going to be here, I need them to make sure they're compensated and they're paid well. We're not doing no McDonald's pay.
Right. Yeah.
So that's what I'm working on. That's what I'm doing the crowdfunding campaign for. And so far, we're at about $26,000 that we've raised. And so I'm working with my bookkeeper, Kawana Boyd. She's my bookkeeper and accountant. So I'm working with her on getting everything done and figured out so we can send it off to the lenders. But yes. And if you don't mind, I need just 2 seconds to look down, because my wonderful husband he keeps messaging me. So I need to
tell him to come on YouTube and watch and comment over there. Okay. No, just kidding. Tell him to do that. So while you do that, I just want to make note of the fact that, one, you're getting ready to nearly 3 times your space. You talked about a number of people, a number of businesses, a number of entities that you are supporting as you're being supported. This is what it means to me, or what it looks like to really create a strong community within a community. See, people always like to say that we don't work together, or we don't connect, or we don't do this, or this is why I don't do business with these Black-owned businesses. I hear all of that so much. And it's like nails on a chalkboard for me when I hear that. Because what it says to me when I hear somebody say that is that you are devaluing me because of the way that I present. And I can't control that. I can't. This is how I came packaged.
Come on.
This beautiful melanin. And I love it, right?
Come on.
But when you present and you say, this is why I don't support Black owned businesses, and you create and you spur that narrative on, that's damaging to me, whether you realize that or not. But you're really shifting the narrative here in Dallas. And I don't see that happening in a lot of places intentionally, in a lot of spaces. And it's so weird because as much as I'm around and I network and things like that, and I send people and I tell people about you, or I do events there, and then people come in like, I didn't even know this was here. And I'm like, this is like Dallas's best kept secret, some kind of way. Like, a lot of people know about it, but at the same time, it just seems like it's like Dallas's best kept secret. And I'm like, no, everybody needs to know that this is available.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to that. When I tell people, because I'm doing a lot of interviews lately, right? I tell them, I launched in 2018, but I'm just now really making noise.
Mm-hmm.
And so I could have been down. I could have been like, well, only some of my events I had 0 people, some events I had 2 people, but I didn't stop. Like, if you look at my Eventbrite past events, I've had over 100 and something events since 2018. And you can look at them go from 0 to the amount to the RSVPs going up. Like, we had a 100 Black entrepreneur event where we sold 129 tickets. Like, that was things I used to look at my Eventbrite on my phone and be like, dang, I wish I could just get 15% tickets sold, just 15% tickets sold, But by being consistent and not giving up, that's all part of the brand. Like, I couldn't give up. I had to keep going no matter who was in here. If I had an event scheduled, you still gonna see me in my stories, or you gonna see me posted about that event, whether there was 1 or 100 here.
Yeah.
But to speak to what you were saying about us speaking about one another in businesses. Okay, when we did these five locations, so we started with Pangea.
Mm-hmm.
We went from Pangea, we went to Allure Cigar Lounge. Okay, so let me do the cities, because Pangea is in Garland.
Okay.
We started with Pangea and Garland. Then we went to Allure Cigar and Lounge. It's in DeSoto.
Okay.
And then we went to 413, which is in Louisville. It's 413 Sports Bar and Grill. And then
I just heard about that like 2 days ago. I think my cousin was telling me about it, but keep going.
And then we went to 1001 Bistro, which is uptown. They owned by the Turkey Dam owners. Turkey Dam is right beside it.
Okay.
And then we finished at Zephyr, which is in North Dallas off of Tollway and Frankfurt. And I know people don't know about that hidden gem.
I'm like, everything that you said besides Pangea, I was like,
let me tell you, the food was bomb at all of them, but was the service bomb? Not so much. And I'm gonna tell you why though. Not only because of COVID though, because with COVID, everybody ain't working like they used to.
Everywhere right now.
Yeah, everybody's hiring. But like, they needed grace. They needed, because they a lot of these people, the owners are back there in the kitchen. Like, the owners are back there in the kitchen working, trying to make sure the stuff is coming out. Because people aren't really, when they open up these places, some of them are not taught how to open a business. Yeah. Because you have a business idea today, that don't mean you open it in 30 days. Like, one of the things you have to learn is you do it in quarters. And I know for sure one of the quarters they missed was hiring staff and getting them trained before you open those doors. Don't open them doors till you got your people in place. They open their doors and they open the doors with them in place. And they up here working the bits or working the tables and stuff, and that wasn't necessary. But we had a great time because I set the tone from the beginning. We're here to support. We're here to give them grace, and we're here to help wherever we need to help at. At the same time, we celebrate, so let's have a good time. And That's what we did.
So something you just said when you were talking about, like the owners working in the kitchen and all of that, it just sparked a thought that just kind of trickled down. Sometimes I get these downloads. And I'm going to say it on this platform, and it's going to be out here, and it is what it is. And I hope y'all love me tomorrow. So I'm saying all these words so I can get my words together so I don't say nothing real crazy.
Understood.
What I find in our community, and I want you to tell me if you agree or disagree. You don't have to agree. But what I find is that we come from a long legacy of hard work being the only way to get something done. And we think we have to work extra hard to do certain things. That even goes back to our previous conversation about seeking out and, accepting help. We feel like we have to bear the burden of every single thing and touch every single thing and make sure every single thing is done. And if we're not working hard, somehow in the back of our minds, sometimes we feel like we don't deserve.
That part. Come on. So, okay.
I'm just saying.
So you said it, like, we have been conditioned that we have to work hard. And this is the thing I always ask, because like my event coordinator, Jessica, she really is a lady of all trades. She a queen of all trades. Okay. Like she is very good at analyzing things and figuring out things on the dime like that. Right. And she's up here trying to help them. And I will ask them, wait, how old is this person first? And if people are a certain age, it don't matter what you try to tell them. It is ingrained in them that they got to be back there working.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter what you tell them.
No.
It don't matter if you tell them, hey, I could set you a system up that will work and do this for you, and you can still be at the house. You can be at the house. And I promise you that this system will do that, what you're doing for you. They will not believe you.
Nope.
They, in their heads, it ain't nothing you can do. But I came across that many times at plenty of these venues, because some of them are, they're that age group to where they don't believe, like you said, they believe they have to physically actually put their hands on it. And you don't have to do that.
That translates into the generational divide that we even see right now. Because the older people, they're mad at the younger people that can get on social media or get on TikTok and they can make, thousands of dollars on just, what they consider being nothing.
That's right.
And it's like, no, like they've figured out how to leverage a system. That's it.
Yes.
I see that so much even in my coaching. I do business coaching as well. And when I'm talking to older people, they can't believe that what I'm telling them is this simple. I literally was on a call with a lady earlier today, and I wanted to throw my phone on the floor because it was frustrating me so badly that I was telling her one thing, and she kept asking me over and over again, like I was missing a step. And I was like, no, this is it. Like, I'm telling you exactly what you need to do. And she kept asking me the same question over and over again. Like I would like the shortcut, which it really wasn't even a shortcut, but just like it wasn't good enough for her. And it's just like, y'all, we got to break this cycle and we got to break this pattern, because we don't have enough hands. We don't have enough time in the day. We don't have enough energy. We don't have enough anything to build billion-dollar businesses with our bare hands.
We don't. But you know what, Chanel, like you can't help somebody who don't want to be helped. And so me trying to tell Jessica that, like, I could tell, like, I'm one of those people, because I've had so many people come through this door. When you come through the door, I could tell if you're going to absorb what I'm saying, and I could tell if you ain't. And if you ain't, I ain't going to say nothing else. I'm like, all right.
Nothing else.
Do what
it sounds like me as a coach. I'll be like, oh, okay, all right.
I'm like, all right. And Jessica, she'll sit there, she'll try to negotiate, try to word it a different way. And I'm like, Jessica, you can't see their mind. Their mind is already set to where I gotta do it this way. They're going to do it that way until they have learned a lesson. They have to grow. If they don't grow, it ain't nothing you can do. You can't make people grow. That's why I don't force people to pay nothing. I don't force people to do nothing. Like, here is the price. You pay it or you don't.
Yeah.
That's simple. Like,
It
You know,
really is.
when you new in business, you're like, oh my gosh, well, what do I need to lower it to for you to pay? No, no. When somebody wants something, I promise you, they make and find a way.
Let me tell you,
So
they ain't stopped going to the Gucci store and getting them belts and
that
them
part,
hats.
listen,
And they
like they make a way. So it's
right.
like when people want something, they're gonna come to you for it, and they're gonna absorb what you got to say. If they're not gonna absorb it, don't try to sit there and force it into them. They're just not ready yet. And even though you want them to be ready, that still don't make them ready.
It's true. That's true. And that's
So,
true. Look, that can be applied on a number of different topics.
girl,
That's true. That's so true. So, okay, you talked about the crowdfunding. You talked about the restaurant tour. You talked about another thing that you did. Oh, all of the people that support you and are in this ecosystem as we kind of come to a close and wrap up. I want to talk about how we can support you in Business Lounge Dallas, because you just told me a number of different ways that you support everybody else. And like I said, I don't always hear you asking people to support you. So for me, when you did the crowdfunding campaign, it was just a no-brainer to me. Like, all right, she's not somebody that always asks for help. So how can we support you, and how can we support Business Lounge Dallas, whether we're here in Dallas or anywhere?
all right. So the best way to support me is going to my website, businessloungedallas.com. And if you're needing a professional business address, you can get one from me. You don't have to be in Dallas for that. If you're looking for a place to connect, educate, support, network, come here. I've already, all the October events have been added. We're open and we're ready. Like, even though we're going through construction right now, we're still operating in the 900 square foot space. Like, we're still getting it done. And it was something else that I wanted to mention. I hate when I be getting ahead of myself, because I be like, I do so much, you know.
It's all right.
And what was I gonna mention? But we got the events coming up. The workshops are like our biggest thing, you know, because it's all about educating and connecting the community. But we're that hub. Like, if you want somebody to know about you, we're that place. But my thing is this, like, I received someone sent a mailer to me. Like, they mailed me their business cards and a magnet with their name, face, and all that stuff on it. To me, that is so impersonal. It's impersonal. If you want me to be your plug, you got to connect with me, because I believe in energy. I believe in vibes. And if I'm going to refer you, I'm referring quality people to other quality people. So that means you either got to walk your little self through this door by booking a tour online, or you got to book an introductory call with me. Talk to me. Tell me what you need. Because if I can't help you, I promise you, I got somebody in my network that I can connect you to. My network is long and my network is wide, because I make sure I attend something every week where I'm pouring into somebody else or learning from somebody else. And then that last Friday of the month, I have that working brunch. So that's when I bring everyone to me, that working brunch. That's my networking event that I do for the community. But yeah, to support me, go to businessloungedallas.com, come out to some of these events, get connected with me, and I promise you, it will not be time wasted, because I don't have time to waste. I don't know when I'm gonna go, but when I go, I promise you, I'm gonna be happy, because I'm doing everything that I love to do. I love to connect people. I love meeting people. I'm a social butterfly. I do not meet a stranger. I smile and talk to everybody. Everybody,
Yeah. Like,
even if they don't talk back.
I can vouch for that. And I can vouch just for you doing what you love to do. I'm gonna tell you this, and then we gonna, close this out. But I, when we were last year in COVID and everything shut down, I saw it all in you that you were not. That was like, oh my God! It was almost like the you know how somebody's face just like all the blood rushes out their face and they look pale. That was like you. I saw the lifeblood just being sucked out of you. You was just like, oh my God, I'm over this. And I was like, when I started seeing you do events again and get around people again, I saw you like really come into life. So yes, you are definitely that connector. You definitely don't meet a stranger. Cause I remember the first time we met and
Girl.
then it was just like lightning in a bottle. We just took off and we've been, rocking steady ever since. So
Wait, but real quick about that COVID thing, my husband was so mad at me. He was like, "You just can't sit down somewhere." I was like, "I can't," because at that time the only thing that was open was Walmart. Girl, I said, "I'm going to Walmart then. Let me put my mask on
you were one
just
of
so I
those.
could just so I could see people." Because I tell for me, like if I'm not connecting with people, I feel like I'm not fulfilling my purpose in life. And the only other time besides COVID that I felt really like I literally felt depressed and bad was when I was pregnant with my second son and I had to go maternity leave at 6 months in order to carry him full term.
Okay.
I had to go maternity leave. So I'm at the house all day, every day, doing nothing. I felt like I was just a waste to the universe, girl. I'm growing a whole human in my belly.
You got somebody with you all day long, 24/7, and you felt alone. No.
But I'm sitting here thinking I'm not giving, I'm not putting my energy into the world. So I feel like I felt so down and depressed. So I tell y'all, if a zombie apocalypse ever happened, just go on and just shoot me, okay? Because I ain't here for it. I ain't here for it.
Just going to shoot me, just take you
Yes,
out.
listen, because I need the people to be cute now. I need them to be cute. If they ain't cute. I can't do it. I can't do it.
So funny. Well, thank you so much, Ro. When we get to talking and we get together, it's always a great time. So, and it's always great energy. So I just thank you so much for being here, for sharing your story, for sharing your space, and for being that person that you just said, that you feel like you have to pour out into other people. Because it's not a lot of people out here like you. But you are definitely a unique person, and we definitely need you here in this entrepreneurial community. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I appreciate your continued support as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It wouldn't be me if I didn't. Look, I may not be the extrovert that you are, but I'm a connector. I see things and I see people. I'm like, oh, hold on. Let's get this. Y'all need to. So that's how it is.
And you look fabulous, girl.
Me? Thank you. Girl, if you would have saw me trying to find something to throw on a minute ago, but thank you. And y'all know, guess what? This episode right here, after this, we're taking a break. I'm letting y'all know now that I'm making a real huge pivot in my business, and we're gonna be coming back with some new videos, and they're gonna be way different. So that means, Ro, you're gonna have to come back when I, revamp this thing.
I ain't got no problem.
You're just gonna have to come back. It is what it is. You have to bring some friends, tell some folks, whatever the case. But
that's what I was gonna say. Keep going though.
No, go ahead.
All right. So just real quick. So I thought this was such an honor, but you know how you say, okay, I pour into the community. I refer people all day long. But one of the people that I refer a lot of business to, which is Dr. Tamia Guest, she has moved into our even bigger suite. She asked Business Lounge Dallas to do the ribbon cut ceremony instead of the Chamber of Commerce, because she said, I have referred her so much business. She would rather me be the one to do the ceremony for her. So I thought that was completely dope.
That's huge. That speaks volumes of itself. I'm not gonna speak. Okay. When we get off of here, we'll talk when we get off live. But anyway, normally I would tell y'all to come back next week, but I'm gonna tell y'all to stay tuned, because we will be back and we will be at a different platform, and we're gonna have a whole nother situation going on when we come back in just a few weeks. So until then, I need y'all to go ahead and subscribe to this channel so that you get all the notifications when we go live and when we post new videos, because we're bringing y'all the heat and we turning up the heat in this whole media game. So just stay tuned, stick around, stick with us, and we'll be back and we'll be bigger and better. So thank you. And until the next time, I'll see y'all.